How do you have Wi-Fi if you don't have internet?
Hi, my name is Tyvis Powell, former Ohio State Buckeye and national champion DB. Welcome to the Buckeye Cast. These guys was born and bred in the Buckeye State, and they like to talk Buckeye football and drink bourbon. Subscribe to the show. Now pour up a drink and pull up a stool. Here's your host, Joe Warwick. Get him, Joe.
Okay. Hopefully, Tyvis finished that little intro for us. So let's get into it here. Got Jeff and Shawn with me, as you can see. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, we're never going to shy away from a Buckeye loss. Fortunately, it doesn't happen very often, but we are here, and no, that's not what I was going to say. We are here, and we are ready to kind of let you guys give us your thoughts and opinions. Think of us as your, I guess, therapists, you know. Bounce your ideas and thoughts off of us, feelings, you know.
Colleague at the water cooler, right, Joe? Your colleague at the water cooler.
Yeah, but if you need to cry on the water cooler, I understand.
Yeah, no, I'm your angry friend at the water cooler. I got a page and a half
Okay.
of shit, and
Oh,
I can't wait to get into it.
okay. So you're the guy punching the water cooler then.
Yeah,
The inanimate object that did nothing to you. That's fine.
that
Fuck
that
that
or
cool.
your
Water cooler
face,
can get it.
whatever you want, whatever you want,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you're
We
into.
can serve up all of the types here. Henry, if you could dial yourself up a bit.
Ugh!
No, I don't mean that. I mean volume, man. Come on. It's not that kind of show yet. It's still early. We're just getting started, right?
Sean's getting ready to cut a wrestling promo.
Is that what it was? I don't think I want to see that. I don't think I want to see that wrestling. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to talk, obviously, mostly about the Buckeye game. We're going to talk about some of the other national games. Things. Let me talk about like a blanket statement for college football. Things are not going well for the big time programs across the country right now. Anybody that matters has taken a loss, except for
Not
Texas.
Oregon and not Texas.
Okay, you
And
know
they're
that's
gonna
coming.
matter.
You know that's coming. Those yes, but that's coming.
Yep.
This is only week 7 of 14 or whatever it is. So, yeah. So yeah, if somebody goes undefeated this season, great. That just means you're screwed in the playoffs. Nobody is gonna go this game 1 to championship game of the playoffs without losing a game. It can't happen. So
It's going to
that's
be a
my
lot.
feeling.
It's going to be a lot more rare that something like that happens. I mean, just because
Yeah.
the consolidation of these big time programs. If it happens, there's a better chance of it happening for Notre Dame or Clemson. But in the SEC and Big Ten, that's some tough sledding.
Yeah.
That's
You
basically
got
like
the
running an NFL season undefeated, which just don't happen.
Exactly. You got a volume switch on your microphone, Henry? Because I got you cranked up as high as I can.
Let me just move off these. Hold on. Let's see if this helps it off first. Any help there? No?
Same,
All right.
same, I would say.
All right. I'm moving to speaker. Hold on.
Oh. Jeff, how's your volume doing?
Doing great, Bob.
All right.
I hear you guys.
That's
I
it.
hear you guys. Great. Oh,
So yeah, we're going to talk about obviously the Buckeye game. I do need to show you guys some videos. I got some video clips here for you to digest with your eyeballs. What else? So, folks, I appreciate you guys joining us. I realize there are a ton of Ohio State podcasts nowadays. It has tripled and tripled and tripled over the last couple of years. So thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. If you subscribe, I would appreciate that more. Hit the like on the video. Support the show. You want to support the show if you like the content, hit thebuckeyecast.com. Everything's on sale there. Get yourself a shirt, hat, whatever. You got plenty of time to get your Beat Michigan shirts. We just had somebody order Emma's for Moron shirts the other day. I love that. And there's a ton of Michigan options there. So anyway, I appreciate everybody tuning in, who is tuning in. I know a lot of people watch the show after the fact, after the live, whenever it works for you. But so yeah, let's get into it. You guys, Jeff and Shawn, you guys want to talk? You want to go emotional, or do you want to go more matter of fact and nonfiction? Fiction or nonfiction?
I mean, I don't. I mean, I'll let you go ahead and lead that, Joe, and I'll probably have a take on from both spectrums.
Maybe the good, bad, and the ugly is the best way to start.
Yeah, and that's been my toughest good, bad, and ugly yet to this date.
Okay. And we do need to get into some reactions from these Week 7 games where you got Penn State beating USC by a coontair. You got Georgia and Kirby Smart pushing a Mississippi State quarterback on the sideline. Not quite Woody Hayes, but close. Close. Seems like he could get suspended by the league for that. Alabama, again, another coontair, maybe two coontairs, getting by the Cox. A 1-3 in the SEC.
Yep, that was a game.
Gamecocks. Florida, Tennessee, another overtime game. Tennessee skates by a garbage Florida team who is 3-3,
Tennessee.
1-2 in the SEC. There's
Fraud.
a lot to talk about there. Seemingly, yeah, that's where I'm leaning. What do you guys think?
Well, I almost think everybody might be a fraud except for Texas.
Everybody might be a fraud except for Texas?
Yeah.
I guarantee you, there's people, national people saying right now, Ohio State's fraud. Guarantee it's being said.
Oh, yeah. I won't get into it because I hate this guy, but he works for CBS, and he had the Buckeyes outside the top 10. In his
Because we haven't played nobody, right?
But
We haven't played anybody. Is that what it says?
and we lost to the one good team.
Lost the one good team.
apparently.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my assumption. I don't care about his opinion because he doesn't get to actually vote in the AP and all that shit. But anyway, so do you want to talk Buckeyes first? Then if we have time, get into the national games. Because Texas rolled. I mean, we talked
That's
about
about myself.
Texas looks the part right now. I mean,
Henry, you sound softer, man. No offense.
I
He's good.
changed
No, he is.
my
He's gonna-
mic. I took my headphones off. Now it's worse.
You should go back to the headphones. Get some new headphones. Is there a Radio Shack nearby?
I'm gonna have to. I got a flight coming up. These old Bose quiet comfort things have fucking seen better days.
Yeah, it's quiet for everybody. Let me tell you.
Those things, Shawn, those were the shit like 25 years ago.
They were the.
I'm a huge Bose. I love Bose stuff, like their speakers. I used to have multiple headphones of theirs, but yeah. Sometimes
Maybe it's just the
don't
shape
get
of my
it.
head. It's just the
There
shape
you
of
go.
my
Now,
head.
see? Yeah, when you make fun of yourself, it sounds perfect.
Yeah.
We should do more of that.
Good. Let's do more of that.
Yeah, that's a new show. We're gonna start.
Yeah. Shit on
Sean's
himself.
noggin. Sean's noggin.
Shawn's noggin.
So anyway, let's see. Yeah, let's start with the Buckeye game. We'll go good, bad, and the ugly. If we got time, we'll get into the other games from this week. We got a ton to look at for next week. Buckeyes are off next weekend, so we do have a little bit of a sit on this loss and taste it for a while.
I
But
rewatched this game today and
too.
got out a pen and pad and wrote down every fucking drive and everything I think about it. So yeah,
Okay.
loaded for
Well,
bear.
it sounds like we should start there. Jeff, you got something better than that?
I do not. I got up and went to work today.
Oh, wow. That makes one of us. I
mean, I had some pretty good mental.
I-75 yesterday, so I feel like I worked a whole day.
Yeah, that's not a fun drive. I know that.
No. Especially when it's all semis and tanker trucks and yeah. Anyway,
You got yourselves a convoy.
yeah, not the good kind that goes fast. I'd love to be part of that one that goes 85, but no. So
Hit the gate doing 98.
yeah. Let them truckers roll 10-4. So yeah. All right, Henry. I feel like I need to cue you up because you've done extensive note taking.
I have.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
And we can just go through this and let's start off. So the past few weeks, my big bitch has been that we start out slow and whatever, and we come out and we put together a long ass drive. I mean, you really couldn't script it any other way other than to acknowledge Kesmerick did not catch that ball. That was an interception, and good job on the Buckeyes to get to the line. But that was not a clean
never
catch.
do that, right?
That was not a
We
clean
never
catch.
get on the ball and snap it before they can replay it.
Never. I don't remember one time that we've ever gotten away with that.
But
It's
great
rare
call,
for
Henry.
anybody. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's hard.
It's tough to get off anymore.
So she said.
I can't believe you said that, Shawn.
When
It's
you
tough
were
to get
there,
off and-
when you were there, she said it. Not when I was there.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys talking about when you dated sisters, or
No.
what are we
Go
talking
ahead,
about?
Sean. I want you to continue on with your training.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah. So I mean, we really escaped one right there on the first drive. It was a good long sustained drive, kind of what I've been looking for. It's like, okay, let's get this defense wore down because it always seems like we pour it on in the second half. Let's get some TOP in the first half. Beautiful first drive again with the refs helping there a little bit. Ended in the Howard touchdown, and great first drive. I mean, exactly the way I'd wanted to start the game. Exactly the way I wanted to start it. And then you go out and stop Oregon. We stopped Oregon right out of the gate, and then boom, Harmon takes the ball away from Q, takes it away from him. Between the tackles and rips it out of his hand, and that should not happen.
Right.
And there was an egregious, and then right after that happened, there was to me, looking at it a few times, there was an egregious Simon missed tackle that was like for a long run, and then boom,
Just one? Which one?
touchdown. I forget which
Well,
play. It was a long run play. Simon had him and fucking. I,
after the fumble, they scored on 2 plays: a 25-yarder
that
by
was it.
Jordan James,
That was the
and then a
Simon
3-yarder
play.
for the
Yep.
touchdown. Yeah.
Linebacker
Go ahead,
I
Sean.
mean,
play and all the play, frankly, to me, just as I mean, before I go into all of it, but this was a team loss all the way from big game Ryan Day, and let's get into that because that's a fucking concern point for me now. It never was, and I've defended Ryan Day to the nth degree, but I'm beginning to wonder about big games and Ryan Day, and I hate that I have to say that on this show because I'm a huge fan, but it's more often than not, and maybe I'm just spoiled because Urban Meyer won all the big games pretty much, and he'd lose one here and there, but he won big football games. And Ryan Day's
Iowa
the
and
opposite.
Purdue.
Those weren't
yeah,
big
he was.
football games, but yeah, those weren't big football games.
And,
uh,
and,
but
and
partially.
conversely, real quick, Sean, Ryan Day does not lose those games. He's not lost in one of those Purdue games.
I
He
would
only
rather
loses.
lose to Indiana and then
Hey,
beat fucking Oregon. I'm talking big
Oof.
games.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, oh,
I
oh.
know what you, Ryan, Sean, I know what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. It's just the two ways of looking at
Uh-oh.
it. I mean, Urban had some of
Oh, here we go.
those head scratching games, and Ryan Day cleaned up
Oh, we really need
on all
this
the games he's supposed
this
to win.
audio to get tightened up because
Now,
you
yes,
guys
I agree with
hitting
you
this here.
with the
Well
issue
then,
with Ryan. I agree with
yeah,
you there.
you're breaking up a little bit, Jeff,
Go
there,
on.
but
Yeah.
um, but then you go to our second. You go to our next drive after they score the
It's
Okay.
touchdown.
going
They
now.
Let's continue on. Yep.
they
Yep.
bobbled the punt or bobbled the snap. I can't believe that Ransom. If you looked at that second play that they replayed to that Ransom returning that thing, that was going to be. He had everybody outran. Two guys like ran him down through being blocked. Ransom ran out of gas and
Oh.
didn't have the
All
wheels
right.
to return that thing.
All right. Hold on. So we got to kind of set the scene here. That was the 2 point try.
No,
Who knows why they're attempting a 2 pointer?
no, it wasn't a
He's
2 point try. This was the bobbled. This was the bobbled snap, and he underarmed it. The holder underarmed it into the end zone, right into
yeah.
Lansom's lap. That wasn't a 2 point try. That was a bobbled.
All right. I understand, but it turns into a 2 point play for the Buckeyes. I understand the kicker whipped it into the end zone. Ransom intercepts it technically and tries to return it. He goes at 65 yards, something like that. I don't
But
know.
they called him. I thought it was interesting that he got caught by the people that were chasing him
Right.
because on the second, I mean, he had them and they fucking. Excuse my French. They got there. I was a little bit.
Yeah.
I I did.
But
I did watch that play.
in a 1 point game, that's a big deal.
Yeah. That was that.
Huge.
I mean, there were multiple. Oregon also missed a field goal, so
Yep.
there were multiple points that Oregon left on the field. You know. So please continue if you're ready to go on to the
Yeah.
next drive.
So we get the ball back, and
Right.
I swear I've really fallen out of love with the wide receiver screen. We ran it once for the first play of that drive for -3 yards. A D tackle came out and made the stop on the wide receiver screen and end up getting in on the tackle. And I mean that means you're not doing it right. We had 3 penalties on that drive. And talk about the problems, all the penalties. We had 2 false starts and a delay of game on our punt when we were already backed up. And so when we were so far back when we had to punt it out of there, they fair caught it at their own 41. I mean, they're damn near to midfield. So field position. And that's when we got on their drive, them to miss that field goal that you're talking about, Joe.
Oh, no, that wasn't a field goal. Or wait,
Missed
what are you
field
talking
goal.
about?
No, no.
Okay, the miss. I got you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I was
On that,
better.
Stewart, they hit a wide
Well,
open Stewart to get
hold
like
up.
20 yards.
I want to. While you're piling on you're talking about the Ohio State drive there. There were two false starts and a delay of game
Yeah,
in 6 plays
yeah.
that ended in a punt. That's a problem, I would say, right?
It's a huge problem, and it was a problem. Timely penalties just always putting us and
Yeah.
most. I mean, there were some timely PIs called for them, but most of them were offensive penalties that we suffered this week. With the false starts,
Yeah, yeah,
offensive PI, the
right. It seems like everybody on the O line, and including G. Scott, had a false start or some type of penalty there. So yeah, if we're going to go drive by drive, I just wanted to pile in there with 3 penalties on a very short drive.
Yep.
So anyway, they punt. Our punter's not great. He's a 40-yard average kind of guy, so don't expect much more than that. So he did that. So go ahead if you're up with the next Oregon drive.
Yeah, so basically the next Oregon drive, they had one big play. They hit a wide open Stewart, I think for about 20 something yards, and then they kind of fizzled out, and that's when they missed the field goal. I was on that drive. So they missed the field goal. We get the ball back. Boom. Travion Henderson time. 2 amazing runs. And then they pull him and put in Judkins,
Seven.
who fumbled already, and gave Judkins the TD on that bad boy.
Right after Trey got a 17-yarder and a 53-yarder back to back.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yep.
So the
Okay,
TD
so
there, the TD
Quishon
there is
got
like,
the 1
okay.
yard. Yep.
Yep. Q got the touchdown, and Q
Right.
was doing some good blocking out there. I mean, the fumble, but still between the tackles, don't let someone rip that shit out. I'm sorry. So the very next drive
Yep.
is Denzel Burke shows us that he's overrated, and this is the first of it. Denzel Burke got completely toasted by Stewart, and then
Okay.
he gives up the touchdown to Stewart. Now, the
Yeah.
touchdown, I would actually say Burke had amazing coverage, and that was just one hell of a play. But on the play before that, the long play, I mean,
The
Burke,
69-yarder.
yes. And then what? He rode him for 20 yards or however long it took him to tackle him. Um,
Yeah.
and then on that touchdown, when that happened, what cannot be understated here is Lathan Ransom got a face mask, 15-yard penalty on the touchdown, nowhere near the fucking play, and it
Right.
screwed us on the next kickoff, which you know
Yeah.
where I'm going to next.
That was Hancock. Got that.
Oh, I thought it was Ransom.
No, Hancock.
Regardless, it's discipline. That's a
Yeah.
terrible time to get that. And now you're up there. They're kicking it from what, the 50-yard line? And so yeah, they're gonna squib it. And like, hey, why don't I fucking squib it right as hard as I can at one of their dudes? Maybe it touches them and something good happens. And something good did happen for them.
Yep. That was Caleb Downs too, dressed as number 48.
What?
Yeah, that was Caleb Downs. He had to change numbers on the kickoff because
Oh, we already had a
Emeka
2 out
Egbuka
there.
is the returner in the back, so he had to be a different number. So it was Caleb that tried to do the I don't know what he's trying to do, dodgeball move, dodge a wrench.
Well, you're not thinking of it, but I was like, okay, this is where you do it onside. This is where you do some silly shit, right?
Right.
Again, because of the penalty, the stupid penalty,
Right.
penalties. So,
Yep.
Holden then gets ejected, which was nice on this drive.
Yeah.
On a play that was away from John with Igbinosin and spits in his face, and he gets bounced. And then
Yeah.
Oregon gets a field goal on that drive.
Oops. Yep.
Okay, now we're back out there, right?
Right.
We're late into the second quarter, and
Mhm.
boom, Simmons goes out.
That was a killer.
Yeah.
Jeff, you
Then,
got. Let's let Jeff
yeah,
chime
yeah,
in
yeah.
here.
Sorry, Jeff.
So uh, so we're trolling through the second quarter here, and uh, we just gave up the there was the unsportsmanlike spitting incident by Trayshawn Holden, probably a clear sign of why he didn't last at Alabama. But anyway, so they got the field goal, right, Shawn? That's where we left off. Field goal
Well,
from
well,
Oregon,
we got
15-14 Buckeyes.
no. Well, first they got the touchdown.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
Burke got toasted on the
back to
sideline,
back.
and then got
Yep,
beat for the touchdown. And
yep.
then you changed it.
69.
I had Ransom had the face mask, but it was Hancock. You said so that's
Hancock had
fine.
the face mask that caused the onside kick to
Do you
Caleb
guys? Do you,
Downs.
I don't think that was planned. Do you guys think that was planned?
Yeah,
You
definitely.
do?
Yeah, yep, yep, definitely.
What makes you think that?
It was a line drive, like right at it, dude.
I know, but that's a squib kick, and you're trying to pinpoint shit where
Well,
you.
I'm not
I
100.
think I
percent
think I
I'm not
think it was a
100% sure,
targeted.
but
I think it was a targeted squib kick. Like there's a chance, there's a 20% chance that this happens on this kick, so be
yeah,
aware of it, type of thing.
yeah, yeah. And Ryan Day said after the game they were aware that they might try something if they're kicking from the 50. I don't know what that came from, if they've seen it on tape before, or if this was some kind of pattern. I don't know why he didn't really elaborate, but or maybe this is just a general rule of thumb. Like any team that's kicking off from the 50 might try some shit because
Why wouldn't you
you're
do that? That's the new
yeah,
play.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
I will squib it as hard as I can at one of your
yeah,
guys. He's not
right,
going to catch it. It's going to bounce somewhere.
right. If it goes into the second layer of the return team, they're not going to return it for anything. So what are you losing?
Right. Exactly.
And again, it's stealing possessions. So Oregon stole multiple possessions. We did not. We never got those back. The fumble and this onside kick. Two possessions we did not get back.
And they scored a
That's
touchdown and a
important.
field goal directly off of them.
10 points right there. Boom. Yep, exactly. So anyway, I don't know how far you want to go into your drive-by-drive analysis, Shawn. We're already 30 minutes in. Do you want to hit the highlights? Do you have some
Okay, yeah,
highlights?
yeah. No, just let me run down this. So then
Yeah, go.
Simmons is out.
Go.
That sucks. We can get into that. Abuka, nice touchdown. Love Emeka Abuka. And then the next drive for Oregon. Oh, guess what? Denzel Burke gets toasted by the other fucking receiver. An Oregon touchdown.
That was Tez Johnson, 48 yards.
Yep. What's this? Bad plays. Henderson. Punt. Oh yeah, that must have been our last drive. Bad plays. Henderson. Punt. Whatever. Okay, second half. Second half. I can't even read this. Smith had a nice
You,
catch, but my player of the game though, Gee Scott, he probably put up career numbers. Had two really
yeah,
good catches.
yeah,
Did have
big
the
catches.
offsides.
Yeah.
And then the Smith TD, of course. Okay, here we go again, Buckeyes, and then these guys go down the field, and we get a 4th and goal stop. You think, okay, maybe this D's shoring up, and then Howard fumbles the snap on like 3rd and whatever, and then we
Yeah.
have to fucking punt, and then Gabriel has a 20-plus yard fucking touchdown run because JT
43.
Tumilo, JT fucking wants to go after the running back when that's not
Yep.
his responsibility.
He bit.
Then here's the big point for
27,
me.
sorry.
I feel like I brought this up in times past.
Yeah.
Is So Ohio State's drive in the fourth quarter. I think it started around 12 and a half minutes or something like that. And they took this long. I felt like that whole time, like, Buckeyes, go with a little tempo because you're going to need this at the end because Oregon's going to get it back. There's 12
Yeah.
and a half minutes. You're not going to bleed it down enough. To me, that is a strategic play where I feel like you need to go tempo. We had damn near a fucking 7-minute drive that ended in a field goal. And okay, we've
Mm.
got the lead now, but now the time is a factor now. And then
Yeah.
and then they drive down. We have some more poor tackling. Hancock with the pass interference, and
Mm.
and they get the field goal at the end there. With I was almost like, let them score, let them score, let them score. We
Mm.
the time
But
was running out.
you don't want them to score a touchdown. I mean,
You didn't right there.
that was at
The
the
per,
1 yard line. You
I
stopped
know,
them
but,
from getting
but you know
6.
what? But if you would have fucking done your drive before with a little more tempo and a little more
Mm.
forethought into how this game's going to play out at the end,
Yeah.
and give yourself 4 minutes there and not fucking 100 seconds, it's a different
Right.
animal. And I feel like we shit the bed there. I was saying it in real time. Like, they need to go more tempo here. They need to keep going here.
Well, that drive you're talking about, they had 2 false starts as well. One from Zen Mahalski, one from Tegger. That's not going to help things.
And then obviously at the end of the game, you had then our last drive, you had Howard fall down.
Yeah.
We were burnt. We had terrible clock management. The first three plays when we took over, there was a minute 47 seconds left. The first three
Right.
plays took 47 seconds. 47
Yep.
half the time on the first three plays, and you weren't even on the other side of the 50 yet. And
Right.
and then I feel like the offensive pass interference was a little bit of a fucking stretch in
Yeah,
today's
you think?
game.
That was a huge game swing.
And then, but again, we mismanaged the clock, and it kept fucking running, and I, team loss, coaching loss, player loss, everybody. Nobody did that well except for maybe Trey, and I guess the receivers, Ibuka and Smith
Okay.
and Gee. Anyway, that's my take. I feel like it's a fucking terrible loss. I feel like, now it's creeping into my head that Ryan Day doesn't win big games because
Ooh.
he's like 3-7 in big games.
Okay. 2-7 against top 5 teams. But in order to play top 5 teams, you a lot of times have to be in the playoffs. Right, Jeff? Jeff? Take? Jeff? Can't hear you. Yeah.
There
I
you
got you
are.
now. Okay, you're in. I was asking, so Shawn's Shawn's last take was, yeah, shake your head. Smack yourself smack yourself in the face. Turn your head side to side like this.
Jeff, we can hear you fine.
Up and down, up and down.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you fine.
Tell him to give us his take. What?
That's
Maybe
okay.
you're
Hey,
just tuning
Jeff,
me
Jeff.
out.
So here's what he's asking. He's like, so basically, what's your overall take on it? Throw your shit out there.
It shouldn't have come to that. It should not have come to that. Now, it should not have come to that. This should have been a blowout by the Buckeyes, honestly. Yeah. Uh, the Buckeyes had 10 gains of.
Oh,
This is weird. Why is that?
I don't know why
What
that
the
is.
fuck? What the fuck? I'm going to remove you and add him back. Tell him to jump back in.
I'm gonna be the host now. So all right, Joe. What do you think
All right.
of it?
Well, I think it sucks, Shawn. I think that Ryan Day's an asshole. 2-7 against top 5 teams. Fire him. Bring in Mike Vrabel. I'll hang up and listen.
Okay, well, you're just being a fucking yenta idiot.
Yes.
Um,
No. I'm
but-
just reading what I see on
but
Twitter.
but
That's all.
but if well, I mean Twitter. I mean anything online is whatever. But it is valid to question Ryan Day in big games. Look. I'm the biggest Ryan Day fan there is. But there is a track record here. And he doesn't lack for talented teams. But it just doesn't seem to get there. And so I don't know what that is, but it's something. So sometimes coaches could be 7-3 in big games like this. And other coaches 3-7. And that's what we are.
Yeah.
And-
Jeff, you got me now? Jeff.
2-7.
5.
Top 5.
Most of them are playoff games, national championships, whatnot. So, Jeff, can you hear me?
He cannot hear you.
All right, I'm gonna fucking
Jeff,
knock.
yeah, 2-7 sucks. 4-3,
Right.
3-4. Okay.
Right. Even for national championship games.
And to me, this was the discipline of this team. All the bounces went their way. We were penalized, even though they had a kid that got spit in our face and then got kicked out.
Three for 25.
And that was 15.
I would say the OPI is a bit of an
The
issue. Hello.
The OPI is an issue, man.
All
I
right.
agree.
I got video. Jeff, are you there?
Joe's gonna roll the video, Jeff, of the OPI.
Here we go. Look at the grab by the DB when Jeremiah pushes off. The DB engages him first, grabs him, then Jeremiah, because he's stronger, pushes him away. Just that's a release, as stated by most DBs on Twitter yesterday.
That is a release.
Yeah.
I thought that was a super weak call. In this stretch of the game, with yeah, that was lame.
Is this a ref trying to prove a point?
I mean, if that play stands, we win. We're gonna kick a field goal.
Exactly. Yeah. You're looking at a 40-yarder.
Ball game right there.
40 something, low 40s. So, yeah, this is a ref who has heard about Jeremiah Smith, and he's trying to make a point that I got my eyeballs on you. And, again, in a key drive, last 2 minutes of the game, you're not just going to let them play. How many times do we see defenders get away with some PIs?
Well, here's what it reminds me of is when my son played hockey and he was like one of the biggest kids, and these smaller kids could do the same shit, but when my kid did it, they'd be like, oh, they throw his ass in the box. It's like he can't do that because he was bigger and stronger than them, and I feel like that's just what Jeremiah Smith got on that. It's like, oh, you tried to press up on me and be up on me, and then I released on you, and you ain't big enough to do that to me. It's like go watch any DK Metcalf play in the NFL, and you're going to see that happen.
Yes.
Terrell Owens, any of those bigger wide receivers. Exactly.
That was at that time. If you would have called that in the second quarter, third quarter, maybe, but right there at that time, that was. You got to swallow that whistle, bro. Fuck.
Yeah. And that was a huge yardage swing. That was, even though it was just a small penalty, it pushed them back out of field goal range. And then, was it a loss of down? I don't remember, but where it was at. Let me see here. Scroll through here.
We were at 3rd and 25. We were at 3rd and 25.
Yeah, 3rd and 25 from the Oregon 43. So,
yeah, unmakeable.
Yeah.
It's a 60-yarder.
Yep. So the play happened at the Oregon 30. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was the illegal substitution. The pass interference happened at the Oregon 28 when Jeremiah caught the ball.
Yeah.
No, 21. I'm sorry, 21. Caught it at the 21.
So that's a 38-yard field goal. That's a high school teams make 38-yard. The high school teams make 38-yard field goals.
Exactly. So then you move it back to the 43. That's 22 yards lost. And then you get a.
So,
what?
Yeah, what's your take on it, Jeff? On that PI, you play DB, you know the game. That happens. Go ahead, Jeff.
I don't think he can hear either one of us right now.
Oh, maybe not.
Tell him to. I'm going to remove him. Tell him to jump back in.
Hey, Jeff.
Jeff, jump back in, man.
Yeah, relog in. Joe's going to kick you off. Relog in.
Nah, he's not even hearing shit. Or he's just not paying attention. All right. So what else do you want to cover, Shawn? Let's see if we can reconnect.
I mean, I pretty much did it all. I think there, but Oregon, again, it was a team loss. They got more yards than us. They got more passing yards than us. They got more rushing yards than us. They beat us in every phase of the game. We would have beat them in special teams until they had the onside or the squib onside, whatever you want to call that thing. And then we didn't. We could have won that game. We should have won that game. I wasn't even actually worried. I feel like we got these guys. And then Denzel Burke starts getting toasted. I'm really disappointed in that secondary. You guys gave up 300 yards passing and the D-line. 0 sacks? Or do we have 0 sacks?
Yeah, 0 sacks. But 19 pressures. Although I don't feel like those 19 pressures had any effect on the quarterback. Maybe
I agree.
Once or twice. Right?
There you go, Jeff.
So
I got both of you now.
All right, those are the numbers. I don't agree with them. Pressures matter, but if they don't affect the quarterback and how he's operating, I don't think they really matter that much. We had 5 hits on the quarterback, 14 hurries. I disagree with that number as well. Again, 0 sacks, like you mentioned. So
Joe. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Yeah,
No,
sorry.
no, I'm good.
No, I was gonna say, like, Joe. You said there was 5 hits on the quarterback. I don't remember. 5. Like they were not impactful at all. That's what I'm getting at. I don't remember all 5 of them. I didn't think there was that.
They credit JT with 7 pressures, 3 hits, 4 hurries on the quarterback. Then Jack had 4 and 4 hurries. But again, I couldn't tell you
That's a lot of
played in that game.
That's a lot of window dressing right there. That's don't tell me nothing. You made the quarterback dance around a little bit here. You hit somebody back here, but overall, none of it impacted the game. As you're saying, Joe, just like you're saying. JT had a tackle for loss. That's all. He made a real good play on a run stop. Sure, I'm glad you make one of those every 3 games.
And he messed up on the quarterback
run.
run.
He bit on the RPO.
And he started that chain reaction of dumb shit we saw down the line.
That's not his job. That was not his job to get that running back.
Yep. He gambled and he lost and he screwed us. That's what happened. Plain and simple. I don't see it any other way. Again, I saw a lot of snaps from Mitchell Melton, Jason Moore, Hero Canoe, a few there. I was kind of concerned with Jason Moore being in on a goal line stand.
Yes, on the third quarter.
That's concerning.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Caden McDonald got in on 11 snaps. Curry did have the one. It technically was not a sack because he was past the line of scrimmage. But
he
great play, great hustle play, great hustle.
Yeah. Showed the motor.
He reminds me of a little Bosa. Not as explosive, but his motor.
Yep. And he won't be a starter until year 4. Very different from the Bosas. All right. Yeah. What else do you guys want to pile on here?
We pretty much covered everything. All the what the mistakes were. I mean, it was glaring as to what kept us from taking a big lead in that game.
How do we get torched for 300 plus?
They strategically targeted one man who we thought was our best corner, who a lot of people said was one of the best in the nation, and first round draft pick. They wanted a piece of him. Evan Stewart wanted a piece of him. Then Tez Johnson said, "Let me get a piece of him." And if that dude wouldn't have got ejected from the goddamn game, he would have been just another third one to victimize. I don't know. I've never seen an All-American that has shown such good tape and such good, history have that type of a total shitball, a meltdown of a game. I don't remember the last time I seen that, where it's just like there's an imposter in the 10 jersey. He's got dreads too, but it's an imposter. That's not Denzel Burke. What's he doing? I mean, it blows my mind. They were looking for him. Like, it doesn't matter which receiver was where. Where's Denzel? Who's Denzel covering? That's where we're going.
Problem here.
And that's a slap in the face, man.
The problem
did his draft stock drop?
Yeah.
That place was loaded with NFL scouts, dude. Most of them were talking about Tez Johnson and Evan Stewart. So,
rightfully
Denzel,
so.
It got busted on the double moves and peeking into the backfield when he shouldn't be. That is what cost him. That's the technique issue. He was 8 targets, 8 receptions, 179 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's the only DB that allowed a touchdown.
Yeah, Shawn, what's DB 101? Don't look in the backfield. Don't let a guy get behind you, right? Yeah. That's the first thing you learn. Right? Shawn played corner, I played corner.
He got smoked on that double move.
I mean, that's like remedial shit. Remedial. Yeah. I mean, that's just basic football. His brain is just out to lunch. What was he thinking about? What was going on in his life right now? You know what I mean?
He hasn't played a real quarterback yet.
He's played Joe, but this guy's been playing since a freshman. I mean, he's played against plenty big games.
4 years. I'm saying, yeah.
He's the quarterbacks he's played against and the games he's played in. There's no excuse for he didn't have his first real game he's played this year. He's played plenty of them prior to.
I know.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean,
Sometimes maybe
if he
you get lazy with your
well,
technique,
okay,
right? If you're going against Cade
and this,
McNamara's,
this is gonna
and
go to the nature of our team. Go ahead, Joe. Yeah, you're right. Go ahead. I want you to finish that because I got a point coming off of that about the image
yeah,
of our
I
team.
would say maybe it's all of the secondary got worked hard in the pass
Hard.
game, and I stress this. That was my key on Friday. Key number one to a Buckeye victory was this pass coverage was going to be stressed, and they did not show up. They actually shit the bed pretty hard. With I don't know what they ate. Maybe it was pea soup. Maybe it was bean soup. Maybe it was just something that didn't agree with their tummies. Anyway,
Because the D line didn't do their job either.
of course, yeah, two go hand in hand, right? This is
No interior push.
this is.
I saw Tyreek on the sidelines
I mean, and
more than I saw him on the field.
we can balloon this out into a major philosophical discussion about the defense and the rift between Jim Knowles and Larry Johnson. So that's
Okay.
Let's
Delve.
We're not going to have
Let's delve in
today.
it. Yeah, let's
No, we
another
can't go
time.
deep.
You're right. You're right. Another time. But that needs to be
Larry
talked
is a
about.
four down front guy. Jim Knowles is a jack position guy.
Variable.
Use the
3-4,
jack
5-2,
to create
4-4.
havoc.
Uh-huh.
Create havoc wherever needed. So anyway, we can't get into all that right now. We're
Yeah, I know.
focused on this game, and again, 11 missed tackles. We saw.
I would have thought there was more than that. I would have thought there was more than 11.
Well, the DBs. Yeah, it looked bad.
The linebackers all
Gave up
missed
a 100-yard
tackles too.
rusher. Of course, yeah. I mean, I got you three on Ransom, two on Cody Simon, one each for Caleb, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, JT, Jack, Ty, D lineman.
A couple of those were glaring missed tackles though. Like
yes, downfield.
No,
Yes.
Cody Simon's on the quarterback run, the quarterback touchdown. Simon missed him and Ransom both whiffed.
Right. So we gave up $150 rushing. That hasn't happened in a long time. And then 341 through the air. That has not happened in a long, long time. So
yeah, I thought we were better than that. I really did.
Yeah.
I thought okay, hold them to 250, 150, 400 yards, but I mean,
right.
They
Well, half of that is on Denzel alone. Half of that.
Right.
I'm not joking, man. I mean, so now the biggest loss, though, I do want to talk about is Josh Simmons. Losing him for the year is going to really hurt us, and that is a concern for me in long term winning a Big Ten championship, winning a national championship. Bringing in a guy with minimal experience is very concerning to get us through the rest of the year.
I mean, that's the worst.
I wish I had something positive to say.
No, there isn't. I mean, that was the defense position, key position on our team, left tackle. Zen Mikowski is the only one. I mean, was he gonna? I heard there's talk maybe moving off the servo about the left tackle, but they had to bring him in for Cibola at one point because Cibola was getting worked on the interior pass rush.
Also committing penalties.
Sarabel.
I mean,
that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
There's talk about Tegra because of his body style. He is kind of a tackle body at like 6'5", 6'6", but he hasn't played it hardly at all. And you don't want to flip Josh Fryer from right to left tackle. He doesn't seem on board with that anyway. So looking at Zen Michalski's snaps, he had 2 in 2021, 79 in 2022, 21 last year in 2023, and now 105 so far this year. I would not. Yeah. I'm not sure he's the answer. Maybe Luke Montgomery. Maybe.
Wasn't there big talk? I thought Luke was on a nice progression.
He's moved around. He actually was in that right guard battle in spring and fall, and it was between Hinsman, Luke Montgomery, and Tegra, and Tegra actually ended up getting that job. Then Austin Sarevald worked his way into the battle here in the early fall over these crappy non-con games, but it looks like Tegra's job, as long as he's healthy. He did go out with the injury, so hopefully he's healthy. But I don't know what they do, man. Fucking don't ask me, man. I got no freaking idea. If with no Josh Simmons, I'm very concerned for the future of this offense. And you could see, I mentioned this on my instant reaction. You guys still with me?
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes quiet, and I
Yeah.
worry that you guys just went home. So the running game change, I believe, is directly correlated to Josh Simmons going out. If you look at the first half versus second half rushing attempts, first half Buckeyes go 21 attempts, 122 yards. Second half, 12 attempts, 19 yards.
Ouch.
That's like night and day different, right?
I feel like those guys were getting after it. Their linebackers were like sideline to sideline. The speed of their defense, they were coming in hard on all that stuff.
But we were still making runs.
We made two big ones off Henderson, but Q didn't do nothing the whole game. Blocked. What were Q's numbers? 12 for 21.
11 for 23. They did yank him after the fumble, but Trey was 10 for 87, had a 53-yarder, home run hitter Trey. He's always good for a big one.
Well, and he had like a 17-yarder before that.
Right, exactly. But I'm talking big plays, So, yeah. The thing is, I want to kind of bring this back around full circle and just say all of Ohio State's goals are still in front of them. Everything we want to accomplish is still there. It's there for the taking. One loss was never going to remove you from the playoffs. It definitely was not going to remove you from the Big Ten championship. And maybe two losses. Two losses are not even going to keep you from the playoffs. Might keep you out of the Big Ten championship and getting a bye. But everything is still in front of the Buckeyes. They can still beat the Cheaters at the end of the year. They can still beat Penn State in a few weeks. They can still get into the Big Ten championship where they will probably play Oregon again. And I welcome that matchup in Indianapolis because I believe Autzen Stadium was a huge factor, man. Might have been just some home cooking from the refs, or it might have been, just the false starts. We had 3 or 4 of those, whatever. So you guys, Oregon can come to Indianapolis, which we call Columbus West, and let's see a Big Ten championship game there. I think things go a little differently, and we know it's really hard to beat a team twice in one season. Again, tough loss, but a tight loss.
No,
I don't know what else to say.
For me, it's major red flags, though. I'm really concerned about going to Penn State. My confidence is a little bit shaken right now.
Okay, I understand. I can't argue with that, but look at what Penn State had to do. Did you watch the USC game?
I did, part of it.
Holy crap. That tight end is their entire offense. Warren, 44. That guy he lined up at center, quarterback, obviously tight end, receiver, running back. That guy was doing everything. You take him off the field, they're screwed. They do not have a functional offense. And they get way too tricky with that. That's what the thing I want to just finish with the Oregon game. These guys are running all the tricky shit, right? They're running the swing and gate. They're running the unbalanced formation where half the offensive line is off to the right and the center and quarterback is over there on the left. Again, the swing and gate, the fake attempt on the extra point. These guys try all of the cheesy tricks. Yes, it worked for Oregon today, but now we've seen that. What else do they have in their bag? We've seen the line drive kickoff attempt, right? So my point is about Penn State. They ran a ton of cheesy shit. Jeff, did you see that shit? No? Jeff? Penn State? USC? Tyler Warren? All right. Anyway, that Tyler Warren guy is awesome. I would love to have him on my team because the guy is like a freaking pocket, what's that? Swiss Army knife. There you go. Found it in the recesses of my noggin. He's a Swiss Army knife. He can do it all. Throw the ball. He can even throw the ball. So, anyway, let's merge into some. Let's do some comments before we get into the national game. Shawn, how you feel about that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Jeff? No opinion?
That's good.
I can barely hear you, brother. You're in and out.
Up.
You're real. The audio's coming and going. No, it's just the audio's coming in and out. I can hear you guys sometimes can't.
Oh.
Did you have any opinion on that USC Penn State game?
I don't know. I mean, USC is like they're head Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, from home and away. I mean, they're a whole different team in the Coliseum than they are on the road. Penn State was favored. What? That was what? 4 point spread.
Half. Cover City.
Penn State was favored. Yeah, somebody knows something, huh? Franklin. I think Franklin. If Franklin wasn't facing, what's his name?
Lincoln Riley.
I'm blanking on the coach. Lincoln Riley. I mean, Franklin loses that game to everyone except Lincoln Riley. That's how I would summarize that game. Take that for whatever that means to you. I mean, Penn State, they're good, but they can give up points. They can give up yardage.
Penn State's ranked 3.
Right. Undefeated, man. Come on. Show some respect on their name.
Hey, they earned it.
Yeah. The tight end is their entire program. You take that tight end, 44, out of the game, Drew Aller and those garbage receivers ain't shit, and the running game ain't shit.
Was that is that where our guy Fleming is now?
Yeah, Dropsosaurus.
No, he had some big catches late in that game. Big time catches.
Yes, yep.
He also had drops.
Two really big ones.
2 big
ones. Oh, okay.
Yep.
I didn't see the drops. I was only able to watch. I was listening to the game, only able to watch the fourth quarter. Couple big fourth down plays, but I mean, when Aller can throw the ball, they can move. I mean, they're not a dangerous offense, but a sustainable offense that is not going to just kill their own defense. So I mean, Penn State will be a full day, especially if we make any of these dumbass mistakes like we played against Oregon. Penn State will definitely put it. We'll have them in a nail biter at the end of the game too, for sure.
Well, they're turning Tyler Warren into their own little kind of, do it all kind of guy. Does this guy play defense too? I mean, he had 224 yards receiving and a touch. You saw him
Yeah.
line up in the backfield, throw a pass. He had a nice little 9-yarder. And then you got, again, Fleming had 2 catches for 33. I don't know that was really that great. The running game, I'm shocked that they're running for 118 with Singleton going for 26 yards on 10 carries. Katron, 16 carries, 56 yards. These guys, I thought this would be like their cornerstone like it usually is, right? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong, dude. You're a dumbass, Donnie.
Oh, thanks. Thank you very much. Shomer fucking Shabbos.
I'm not sure what to think of this. Penn State is a must-win.
Yeah.
It's playoff time again. Okay, Ohio State, you burnt your free one.
Yeah. You're still going to get in the playoffs with 2 losses as a Big Ten team. That's for sure.
Agreed.
But no more than that.
I mean, depending on how the rest of college football goes, I don't know that to be a fact because Vanderbilt beat Alabama, and there's going to be a bunch of teams, and a bunch of these teams still have to play each other, these one-loss teams. So it's going to be a bunch of 2 losses, and then I think there's going to be a 3-loss that gets in there. Or 2. And Ohio State is such a brand that it possibly could be a 3-loss team and get in. To me, 2's guaranteed in the playoffs.
Yep.
3, I mean, you could talk me off that ledge, but 2's guaranteed in the playoffs.
Right. It depends on how you finish the season and who you beat and all that. But yeah, I agree. Especially for an SEC and Big Ten team, 2 losses is getting you in, no doubt.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Let's get to the chat here before we leave them hanging, and then we will talk some more of the national games. I want to get these guys' thoughts because we kind of ignored them last week accidentally. Joe Warwick's first one, and he says, "Hi, Joe, Jeff, Shawn. Hello to you, sir.
Hello, Mr. Warwick.
It's past your bedtime."
Mine too.
Yeah. Small Town Scratcher says, Small Texas Scratcher, sorry. Have y'all already roasted Denzel Burke? That was awful. No. We did, kinda.
I mean, what do you do? I don't think we got into how far do you, I feel like he was going to be a top 20 pick, and now I feel like that game, you're out of the first round. He's still getting drafted, but like that's more of a second, third round guy.
I got to tell you, I went on Twitter during the game. Huge mistake, obviously.
You drunk Twittered? You idiot.
I wasn't drunk, mostly. But I just, my stance is you can't, I don't know any position coach that is going to bench a 4-year starter and throw in a first or second year guy, right? So my point is, okay, so you throw in, you bench the 4-year starter at corner or any position, doesn't matter. And then you put in a young guy without a lot of experience. What if shit goes even worse or the same? What if it's equally as bad? He gives up a touchdown or 2, gets roasted badly. Then what do? You got a 4-year starter you just benched who is checked out probably mentally. He's like, fuck it, I'm out mentally. He might be on the sidelines physically,
right,
but he's out. Like he's not in the game anymore. And you got a young guy out there getting roasted too. Maybe things get worse. Is that a possibility? Could be. I don't know. But yes, things could be better. I
didn't know those numbers that you read off earlier. 8 targets, 8 receptions.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
Joe.
179. Yeah, go.
To that point, but we don't have just a young guy. We don't know what he's going to do. We have Jermaine Matthews sitting there. Jermaine Matthews
Yeah,
is a starter in any other fucking Big Ten school,
Right.
guaranteed.
yeah,
Jermaine Matthews
yeah.
is a proven player too. So it's not like we're throwing in a fresh. We're not throwing in Aaron Scott. You know what I mean?
He hasn't
Like an
played a lot
unproven freshman with a lot of hype.
in meaningful snaps, Jeff. That's the difference. Meaningful snaps.
I
He has
From what
not
I've seen from
played.
Jermaine Matthews, I would roll my dice. I would roll the dice with Jermaine Matthews, at least being
Okay.
aggressive and trying to make a play,
All
and
right.
not and
This is
not and
what
not be mentally checked out like and to totally forget his techniques and his keys to read.
my
I
point
mean,
is. It's easy for
if that would
fans
be the
to
case,
bench a
that would,
four-year
then
starter. It's easy for us to do that. It's not easy for a
well,
position
right?
coach or a head coach to do that. You
No,
basically
man, and
alienate yourself from the player and say, 4-year starter, you're not good enough anymore. Hit the bricks, pal.
no. Hey,
You,
Joe,
you were slated
I
to
think
be a
Tim
first
Walton.
round draft pick.
It's not it's not that cut and dry. I don't think in that case. I mean, they got to know what's going on with Denzel too. Personally, I mean, we don't know. They might. I,
I don't know
Tim
if it's
Walton would
anything
be able.
personal. I
Well,
mean,
but Joe, we don't know. Joe, you can't say that. We don't know if there's anything going on in his head. We don't know what the fuck his
okay.
family's going, family, girl, whoever, friends. So,
All
you know,
right.
what I mean, we don't know any of that stuff that could have him distracted.
Yeah,
We
we can
won't know.
speculate all day.
But right, but I'm saying like Tim Walton has the enough a good enough relationship with him, and I think the way that they practice, and the way our program is built, is if you there are guys behind you. We are loaded here. Next man up. If you cannot do the job, it's a pro type atmosphere, a pro type program. He, I
I'm
mean,
I'm gonna
you got to be able to at halftime say, Denzel, if you can't get your head out of your ass, you're gone. We got to pull you. You're hurting us.
I
You know,
assume
I
they
mean,
had a talk. I don't know. I don't know what the results would have been. I would think the way Tim Walton is, he's pretty freaking direct, as most position coaches are. It's get your shit done, get your job done. But I don't know. Again, how do you bench a 4-year starter? That seems hard to do. Seems really hard to do because that is going to hurt you down the road in recruiting. Just not showing faith in
I
your
would know,
guys.
knowing Denzel Burke, I don't know if I would have pulled him either. I mean, he is a 4-year guy. He's put up, he's made himself into a premier corner in this at
He had a
this
bad
level.
night. I mean,
Right. I'm not unless he comes to me and says, "Coach, I'm fucked up tonight."
I'm not seeing
Um,
it.
yeah, I'm not pulling him.
Nope.
He's
Exactly.
Denzel Burke.
Exactly. He's a preseason All-American type team
First time
leader.
draft,
That's the big
first
thing
round
is he's a
draft pick
team
type.
leader. Like a Jack Sawyer. How do you bench a Jack Sawyer? Jack Sawyer didn't do shit all night. A few pressures. Didn't have any tackles at
Nobody
all.
did anything exciting.
Yeah,
I
I mean
mean,
you could go up and
Smith
down
and
the
Abuka.
entire defense and start benching guys if you really want to.
Yeah,
Might get
right.
worse. Might get worse. So, anyways, continuing on, small town Texas Scratcher says Columbus PD got an APB out on Denzel Burke. Fortunately, it was in Oregon. Stephen Cherry's in. He's coming in hot and heavy. He says that
Uh,
it's still on the coaching staff to get him out if he isn't performing. We kind of touched on all that with Denzel. Steve, small town Texas Scratcher says, I
Fine line.
agree. I would have let Matthews and Simpson Hunt get a crack at it. I don't know. Okay. Simpson Hunt has fewer snaps in real game action. He would concern me more. Steven S. says, entire defense needs a reset. No pass rush in sight. Missed tackling. Dumb penalties. Not forcing turnovers. Can't get off the field. Anybody want to disagree with that?
didn't it seem like their
no,
defense was just like their defense, their linebackers, and that were hawking stuff down and making tackles, and I feel like we were struggling, and you know, Sonny'd make a tackle for a 6-yard gain. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, great.
Right. Right. That.
Oregon's defense looked faster and more aggressive.
Yes.
They're very athletic. I'll say that.
And, and we couldn't sustain the punishment like what we thought we were just gonna maul them. I was predicting 250 yards rushing. We just
Right.
beat them, but they were the more physical team.
Right. But I was
They
saying
won the last scrimmage.
they definitely did, and that's what I was going to go to on the defensive side of the ball. It's hard to play downhill when your D line is not getting the job done. Right.
Well,
I mean,
Yes, correct.
part of stopping
Yes.
the run
Yep.
is D line has to penetrate, fill those gaps. Right.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Exactly. It's a chain reaction on your defense. If
Yeah.
the first line breaks down, it moves. But um, go ahead, Sean.
what concerned me is not being able to close. It's like after 9 minutes and something left in the third quarter, all we got was a field goal.
Yeah. We started the fourth quarter with a lead, actually, and relinquished it. So there's that. But that falls on the entire D here. Stephen Cherry says Larry Johnson is washed. His line can't get to the quarterback, can't get any push. Oregon offensive line bullied them. That was probably the best O-line we're going to play this year. Maybe outside of the cheaters. I don't know about Penn State, maybe. But O-line and D-line for them were very strong, even without that Jordan Burge guy, the DN. Again, they were without one of their best defensive ends, and still got the dub on us, as we saw before with Thibodeau a few years ago. Stephen Cherry says losing Simmons is huge. Hopefully, next man up can fill in smoothly. I haven't seen it yet, but I will be looking for that. If you know anybody that can fill in left tackles, please send in their resume. Steve S. Says if we play them again, they will most likely have Birch back. Left tackle will be exposed.
Yep.
Excellent
Sure.
point. And doesn't make me feel better about the situation. Thank you, Steve. Stephen Cherry says Burke had a complete meltdown. Hopefully this isn't psychologically messed up for him the rest of the season. We're going to find out against Penn State. Well, I do have Ravioli coming up. Nebraska comes to town next. Got the bye week this week. So we'll see if Dylan can move the ball. We'll see. I kind of doubt it, but whatever. Darius P., welcome to the show, Darius. He says, can you talk on why they did not run the ball when they were at the 28-yard line with 0.34 seconds left? What? It's first down with a
34.
timeout. Okay, yeah.
34.
First down with a timeout. Just need 3 yards for a 35-yard field goal. At the 28?
That was the whole scenario where I think was the offensive PI and all that rigmarole.
But that happened. We established that happened at the 21 is where the penalty took place. They threw the flag at the Oregon 28, 15 yards back from there. We were never at the 20. Meke Igbuka caught the ball for 26 yards at the Oregon 28. Remember the wheel route out to the right side?
So he's probably
dropped it right in
thinking
the bucket.
He's probably thinking the 28. Yeah,
Okay,
that was a
but-
beautiful catch.
Right, but tack on 17 to that. That's a 52-yarder. Or I'm
20.
sorry, 42. 45.
that's doable.
45.
But yeah, right there is what he's talking about. Is okay.
I got it.
You got the
Okay.
timeout. Try and get 5 more yards, and you're good. 42
Yeah,
yarder.
I that's a good point. I guess they wanted to get closer for an easier field goal. I mean, from the 45-yarder is not a gimme to a college kicker. Definitely not our kickers.
Exactly, not our kicker. I would say they felt comfortable from him at probably 42 and in. But at the same time, I think this has to be put on the coaches because I don't know if you can put this on just one player or just the whole offense.
Right.
But you have one timeout and you don't get a playoff and you run out of time with a timeout.
Yeah.
I mean, just lay that out. That's one thing that happened. Now it's a big generalization, but we ran out of time and had a timeout.
Right. But we never had a crack at a 35-yard field goal, to Darius's point.
No, it was more like a 40.
45.
28-38.
We were at the 28 plus 17.
45.
Yeah. We never had a crack at a chip shot.
But that's what he was saying. Run it and get 3 more. 45 to 42's. Now you're getting in a nice, comfy range. 42
Maybe.
and in.
If you get that, yeah, that's an assumption. All right, Stephen Cherry says arguably Oregon played their best game and Ohio State played their worst, only losing by 1 point. And at home, I would like to point on top of that, Stephen. That's a great point. Yeah, we did play a shitty game, even by beating them in big plays. I would like to point out, where's my comparison? Big plays. We actually had more big plays. And by big plays, I mean passing plays over 15 yards. We had 10. They had 7. Running plays over 10. We had 4. They had 3. Now, I understand that, they had 2 of those big plays go for touchdowns. Only one of ours went for touchdowns, but I do want to point that out.
But they averaged more per pass than us, and they averaged more per rush than us.
I understand. On
that
average,
ain't cool.
No, it's not cool, man, and I won't stand for it. But I just want to point out that we actually had more big plays than them. And again, to Steven's point, we only lost by 1 point at their house. So Steven also says, I'm rooting for Day to break through, but we can't be in denial that he chokes on the big stage. You guys think he chokes on the biggest stage?
He's saying it's not that big a deal, but we just got to know that our coach chokes on it. No, that's not. No, I'm not. This is a big deal. Yeah. I'm not going to accept that. Our coach, we have a coach. Yeah, we'll win all those games that we're supposed to win. We're going to fucking choke on it when lights get big. I don't want that. I don't want that in my coach. That's not a good recruiting tool. That's not how you build a program. You can't have that narrative nationally about you, and still keep yourself as a gold standard in recruiting. What are we? We're NFLU, right?
Well,
we're NFLU. We got a whole bunch of pros.
What was Notre Dame ranked last year when we beat them at home? Weren't they a top
5?
Top 10?
I think they were 5.
About that game for some reason. Anyway.
Well, and because we don't get credit for winning that game because they had 10 guys on the field. Remember?
Right. Apparently, that doesn't count as a victory, even though it goes down in the record.
And everybody made fun of Ryan Day for how he acted the post game.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's like a joke now. It's like a punchline.
Right.
We'll go with that.
That's fine. That's fine. But let's keep everything in perspective.
I'm thinking of narrative nationally.
Keep in mind all those losses against top 5 teams. The 7 losses, 3 were to Michigan over the last 3 years, and then the rest were in the playoffs. 1 was a national championship game. So I don't know. We beat a Notre Dame team, even though Kyle McCord probably shouldn't have won that game. But anyway, Badass Buckeye says 37-yard field goal from the 20. Yeah, we didn't get to the 20. That's the problem. Would have been without that OPI that we discussed. Badass Buckeye says tough loss. We had a chance to win. No excuses. Definitely, no excuses. He says we underestimated their speed.
They did play fast. I don't know. I agree. They played fast on defense. Okay. They went deep on us on offense.
I don't know if we underestimated speed, but We played like shit.
Stephen Cherry says Day abandoned the run like he always does and has the best backfield in the nation. Well, Chip Kelly's calling the plays. And I laid it out early in the show, the difference in run attempts in the first half versus the second half. Again, you got to remember, Tiger went out for multiple plays with an injury, but the big issue was Josh Simmons going out for like half the game, carted off, and he's out the rest of the year. So there's a big reason. If your guys up front can't block it, you're probably not going to run it. You know, especially with a Zen Mahalski who never plays. Yeah, go ahead. We got 3 minutes.
Do we have any update on Josh Simmons? Have they done like the MRI and all that stuff? Do we know anything official?
Ryan Day said after the game.
They said that's what they feared, but they hadn't done the MRI and see what he tore or whatever.
The moose at the front should have told you.
I just wanted to confirm. That's all. I wouldn't confirm that unless after the game.
Nothing official.
I know that's what they thought. Okay, that's all that's it. That's it. Thank you.
Steven says, can't say home cooking. We were gifted our first touchdown. All right.
We were.
Bradley says, I'm a diehard Buckeye fan. This game was not close. We got away with one on the first drive. That dude ripped the ball for an INT. They missed a field goal, an extra point. Right?
Yeah.
So, tit for tit. Is that not like equal almost?
No.
5 for 6. A field goal they missed. The extra point or the 2-point conversion they tried, missed. Extra point.
That wasn't a 2-point try. That was a bobbled try.
Hold up. They had a 2-point attempt besides the bobbled extra point attempt.
Oh,
that's two different things.
Yeah.
So that's like, what are we talking about here? 5 points? 6?
We stopped that.
There we go. Equal. Tit for tit. Bradley says, dominated us in every aspect of the game. I'm not sure what game you watched, Bradley, but I don't agree with that at all.
I kind of do.
Every aspect of the game, Shawn, seriously?
They looked faster than us.
They looked faster than us.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Alrighty. Stephen Cherry says, Penn State will lose to Wisconsin next week. Okay. Again, Stephen Cherry, we can always count for an early prediction when not even asked. And they get a bye week before playing us. Okay.
That would be so
great
Penn
points.
State. That would be so Penn State, though, to do
Right.
that.
And then they get a bye week before playing us. Yeah, great game. Or a great point. Bradley, Penn State hates to say it, but we should lost 2 possessions. We did lose 2 possessions, actually. Never got them back. I agree. Bradley, the second is the conference championship. Right. I think he's talking about meeting up with Oregon again. Yeah. Oh, Matthew Miller is in. I'm sorry. Got to run through these. Matthew, what's up, Matthew? From the 419, our guy, hardest working guy on the show. He says, this team does not have it, and losing Simmons ruined the season for sure. Okay, so we're keeping things realistic here.
It's not great. It's not great, Bob.
Says he hasn't seen a corner ever play that bad.
Well,
all right. D-line, whack as G. Yeah. Whack, ASF. Okay. Got it. Reese, best linebacker on the team, should start and play. Fuck, maybe Powers either. We got away.
He had a big miss too.
He sure did, down in the goal line there.
Yeah.
Then also, Joe, what's up, my brother? Thank you, Matthew. Agree. Worst cornerback display since I've seen following Ohio State since '99. Oh, he should have been following the Buckeyes for 20 years prior. It was amazing. Anyway, Doug Shepard's in. He said, haven't caught this show in a while, OH. You probably picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue, Doug. Anyway, Wayne Cochran says, surreal to see Ohio State, Oregon, a Big Ten game, West Coast guy here. Do Ohio State fans think it's weird to travel out here for a conference game?
No, I think it's awesome.
Didn't seem weird to me. I didn't travel out there, but there's plenty of Buckeye fans out there.
Yeah, we traveled well. We did travel well.
Yeah.
But it was so loud there still, I feel. It seemed like it coming through my TV.
Yep.
It was loud.
It's the way it's designed, man. I've done specials about it, like how it's designed and how it's built to hold the noise or whatever.
But there's plenty of red in that building, I felt.
Oh, yeah.
We're representing.
Coast. Doug's killing me. He did make a point of too many defenders just blasting into the ball carrier, not wrapping up. They need that Chris Spielman tackling tape. I've talked about it a million times. I can go find it. There's a Chris Spielman old school teach tape on tackling. 1 step, wrap, 2 step, through, and through the ball carrier. Anyway, I won't get into it. There's more than that to it. Doug says, I saw Seth McLaughlin try to block a middle linebacker on a run play. He couldn't get a hand on him because of his speed. He didn't stand there to get blocked the way Ohio State linebackers do. Okay, yeah, they're fast. I feel like our linebackers on the few plays that I kind of rewound a few times sometimes do stand there. Like, I don't feel like they react. They let people get into them, and I felt like the Oregon linebackers were making their reads and not letting our guys get into them. They'd beat them to it. I agree.
I feel you.
So Doug says, who said I stopped sniffing glue? Sorry, Doug. I should not assume. You know what happens when you assume? Yes. All right. We're out of here. Good show, boys. Appreciate you guys. We will be back next week to get you ready for the Nebraska game. Jeff and Shawn, appreciate you.
Yes.
Yes, sir. We'll do better next week.